Hello, everyone. Okay, so why do we in Panama need a promise to purchase contract? And more importantly, and the question I get asked quite frequently is why do you need to put a 10% deposit when you are starting a real estate transaction? All right, so let's take a look at this and see why it happens in this way. Okay, the overall idea is that the promise to purchase contract is going to be the bridge between the offer and the final closing. So in step one, once the offer is accepted, okay, and all the parties agree to the terms, the buyer can then do its due diligence and if need be do the financing. After that, the promise to purchase is signed and that the non-refundable deposit is paid. So at step number one, when the offer is given, there is it is non-binding for either part. Only once you get to step three and the promise to purchase is being signed and the deposit is paid, it's binding to both parts. Okay, there's penalties for as a buyer backing out, you lose your money, and as a seller, there's serious penalties if you back out. Not only do you have to give the money back, but in most cases, you're going to have to give an equal amount back. All right, so and that's what happens prior to closing. Okay, why it's so important is because when the seller goes to the notary to sign the deed over, they have to go there with the money having already been paid for taxes. That's not like North America or a lot of other places when the taxes are paid at the end. But in Panama, the government basically says if you're going to go ahead and do a purchase, you got to pay the taxes beforehand. All right, so that's why you don't close right away. Okay, there's you do the legal review before you do the promise to purchase. Okay, that's where the attorney checks the title, ownership, liens, anything like that. And we also as realtors can help you through this process. But if you want to do use your attorney, that's also okay. And then the seller is has to provide a lot of different documents in order to close. That's what's going to happen once the promise to purchase is engaged. The seller begins to get all his documents in a row, including paying the taxes and so forth. If there's a mortgage, they have to get a mortgage release. And on the side of the buyer, if there's financing that needs to happen, then they do it during this time. There's a closing coordination that happens that both parties need to know, okay, we have all the documentation, we're ready to go to the notary and sign and transfer the deed. Um, Once the deed is signed, it has to go to the public registry and the transfer is complete. And at that time is when you actually see the final payment been handing to the seller. Okay, so when you get to the closing, all right, at the notary, you will have a cashier's check as a buyer, or your attorney will have it, and you will put it for safekeeping with the notary. All right, and at that moment, the notary then keeps it until the deal is complete. So why is a 10% deposit again so important? Because that's what they need in order for the seller to make sure that he knows that the buyer is serious. It protects the seller because otherwise they would have to come out of pocket to pay the taxes, not knowing if the deal's actually going to come through. So it creates confidence in the deal and it keeps the deal moving. All right, so the buyer, what does the buyer get? The property is taken off the market, so the price is locked in, the property is locked in, and then there's time to get all the documentation that needs to be received in order to get the transfer done. If financing is needed, it's done there. If there's other obligations that need to be done, maybe there's a repair or something like that that needs to happen, that is done during that time prior to closing. But both parties know for sure this deal is going to go through because a person has put in money that is non-refundable. Okay, so what's your basic takeaway? And it's going to be this: the promise to purchase agreement protects both sides, and it is absolutely what needs to happen in order to have a real estate transaction. Okay, the 10% shows commitment, it reserves the property, takes it off the market, and 100% of that money is applied to the final closing. All right, thank you guys very much. If you have any questions, please send them to us. We'll be happy to answer anything and be of service to you guys. All right.